Hello there viewers and welcome to another edition of F1 Talk. This is episode 33 and in this edition just a tiny bit of news after the big 3-week break since the last race in Hungary, and of course my preview and a look ahead to this weekend's Belgian Grand Prix to be held at the Spa-Francorchamps circuit in Belgium. So let's talk over the news. As I say, there's not a heck of a lot of news in the world of Formula 1, but there's three significant bits of news and obviously the preview after that, so let's get on with it. Martin Whitmarsh, the McLaren team principal, will be stepping down as the chairman of the Formula 1 Teams Association. That's a FOTA organisation. FOTA was founded in 2008 as a way for the teams to, have their say in the do's and don'ts of F1. There was a significant desire to see the spending cut by all the teams, especially when the three newer teams were proposed, so that every team could have a fair shake of getting a decent race result. As of last season, Ferrari, Red Bull and Sauber had all broken away from FOTA because they were sort of being accused by the other teams with regards to spending more than what the FOTA organisation agreed that would be spending. So the organisation has been weakened significantly with those three teams leaving. Whitmarsh says, I've got to concentrate on leading McLaren, and you can understand that. That's understandable. And you have to say that FOTA as an organisation isn't going to be around much longer. Two of the three top teams are not in the organisation. But Whitmarsh to step down and to leave the vacancy open for whoever's thinking about taking it. It's got to be someone who's relatively powerful in terms of team principle. It wouldn't surprise me if it was a non-racer. In other words, a former team principal or an ex-driver or something like that. So we'll see what happens in the coming months as the elections for new chairman of FOTA begin, which they obviously will do now. Whitmarsh has said he's going to quit. Staying with McLaren, Lewis Hamilton has admitted that he wants a new deal. There's one or two race seats open, as I described in the last news type episode of F1 Talk. It's fairly obvious that even if he did want to leave, there would be one decent seat open for next year, and that's probably it. I mentioned that Jenson Button was interested in a switch to Ferrari. Who wouldn't be? It's Ferrari, for heaven's sake. But the thing is that there would only be 1 year, because as we know, Sebastian Vettel is penciled in for next but one season. So that's 2014. He's not, the contract isn't set in stone yet, but it may as well be. So, it's Lewis is just looking at his options, and his best option really is to stay exactly where he is. So he's been speaking to Whitmarsh at McLaren consistently over the last few months, and we will see Lewis in a McLaren next season. So stability is what's going to start to win championships and things like that. And as I keep saying, Lewis Hamilton's been with McLaren since he was a little boy, so we will see Lewis in a McLaren next year. And that leaves Felipe Massa's seat open, and Ferrari may well think, well, better the devil we know for one season. And it's looking to me, as a long-term fan's point of view, that that's probably what's going to happen. We can see Felipe staying for one more year, and then a bit of a swan song season, so to speak, with regards to Felipe, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens. The silly season has started, let's just say. There are rumours as well about Michael Schumacher's future. Would Mercedes be better served bringing somebody else in, or would they be better served keeping him on for one more year while they develop the car? He can develop the car, spend the season developing the car, because, as I said in my last video, the marathon half-season review, which I thank you very much for watching, I've said that Mercedes started the year really, really well. You know, we thought they were going to be up there. They won one race, they got a couple of podiums, and since then they've basically done nothing. So the car needs to be developed. So the silly season begins now. You know, a few teams are set in stone, or it seems like they're set in stone. Red Bull, Webber, Vettel for next year. McLaren look like they're set in stone with Button and Hamilton for next season. Fernando's safe at Ferrari. You can virtually bet your entire life savings and your mortgage on the fact that Fernando's going to be there next year. He is their number one. He's leading the championship, so there's no worries there. But Felipe Massa's seat at Ferrari for 2013 could still be Felipe, in my opinion. You heard it here first. And one more piece of news. The FIA, the governing body of Formula One, has announced a new motorsports series called Formula E. Now, the E stands for electric. This is a championship that will commence in 2014, and it's all to do, as I say, with electric cars. Now, what will happen is that they will compete on city centre circuits all over the world, and from what I've read and understood, it will all be to do with the cars will be, you know, fully charged before they go out on qualifying, and they'll be charged up again after qualifying, and then they'll do as much as they can. They'll come into the pits, but they won't change just tyres, they will change the whole car. Because obviously a tremendous amount of power, you know, gets done. But, you know, compared to what people think about electric cars, they can actually go extremely fast. There's a Bentley, I seem to remember, that went extremely fast, about 200 mile per hour. So it is possible. So the days of Wipeout are soon along us. You know, Wipeout on the PlayStation. And, you know, that will begin pretty soon. You know, the development of the cars, the big car developers like, you know, big car companies like a Honda, Toyota, Mercedes, Ferrari, whatever, they're all being invited to take part. So we'll see what happens there, because that could be very interesting, because some technologies could obviously be borrowed from F1 and vice versa. You know, I have heard rumours in the past year or so that they will use an electric engine in the pits. So we'll see what develops. And on to the bread and butter of this episode, the preview for this weekend's Belgian Grand Prix. Now, this could be a tough one, because it's been 3 weeks since the last Grand Prix. Development has to have taken place, especially with the 3 newer teams. 3 top teams, I meant to say, sorry. And you have to say that, you know, improvements have been made, because, you know, it's F1 developments. They can't test, so the big session for everything to be checked out and everything will be the first practice session, which will take place tomorrow. As I record this is obviously Thursday. Practice 1, practice 2, maybe, or summer practice 2, will be used to test out any new parts that any of the teams have developed, and we'll just have to see what goes on there. Spa is a favourite track for a lot of fans, including myself. It's not my absolute favourite track, but it's up there. It is set in beautiful forest land, countryside, everything. Elevation changes, hills, long straights, difficult corners, and the heavily revised bus stop chicane towards the end of the lap. I think it was 2003 it got changed. But the sad thing about this race, even I receive emails saying, would you add your signature to save the Belgian Grand Prix? And I'm thinking, well, why wouldn't it be saved? Because it's a brilliant race. There's easy overtaking. The long straight in the second sector, I think it is, or at least the first. Yeah, it's the first sector. You have to say it's quite possibly the best. It is the best track, but it's not my favourite track. Put it this way. So it's difficult to predict who's going to be on top. You've got to think the three newer teams will struggle. You've got to say the 3 top teams, possibly the Lotuses as well. Kimi Raikkonen loves Spa, as I said in my last edition, and you have to take into consideration any of the developments, the updates to any of the cars. McLaren looked on form before the 3-week summer break. Will they be back on, will they keep going in on that form? If they can, then Lewis Hamilton's got this race sewn up. But I will go conservative. I will say pole, Kimi Raikkonen, and I will say for the race, Mark Webber. So there is my prediction for both qualifying and the race, and we'll just have to see what happens. Obviously my review of the Grand Prix will be up sometime Monday, possibly Tuesday, depending on how busy I am or whatever. So I thank you for watching this particular edition of F1 Talk. Give me your thoughts, comments and suggestions in the comment box. Make a reply video. Something like re F1 Talk episode 33. Say what you think's going to happen. Give me your predictions. So let's start this ball rolling. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time for more Formula 1 talk.